Let's start with the end of the world, why don't we? I decided that Orion needed to die after the second time he saved my life. There's no such thing as witches, but there used to be. A girl is running for her life. There is a pirate in the basement. This story ends in blood. We must, by law, keep a record of the innocents we kill. The queen stopped screaming just after midnight. The circus arrives without warning. Victor readjusted the shovels on his shoulder and stepped gingerly over an old, half-sunken grave. I was 10 years old the first time I realized I was strange. Father told me I'm broken.
Convincing you to read books based off their first lines. A girl is running for her life. I have a heart for every year I've been alive. The artist is a creator of beautiful things. I like hurting girls mentally, not physically. They say the day the governor of the Ravens did too. Cal wore a very peculiar coat. One summer night, I fell asleep hoping the world would be different if I woke up. As I sit here with 1 foot of the ledge looking down from stories above the streets, I can't help but think of suicide. Is today a good day to die? You're still alive in alternate universes, Theo, but I live in the real world. I'd never hear anyone use later to say goodbye before.
Convincing you to read books based off their first lines. My face is mashed sideways against the trunk of a police cruiser when Kate dies for the 3rd time. Everything is burning, so many flames it looks as if we set the sky on fire. It took 7 years to get the letter right. To be fair, when the alarm goes off, there's barely even any smoke rising out of the oven. My mother thinks I'm dead.
Convincing you to read a book based on the first line. Film legend and 60s it girl Evelyn Hugo has just announced that she will auction off 12 of her most memorable gowns through Christie's to raise money for breast cancer research. I hate First Friday. They say that just before you die your whole life flashes before your eyes, but that's not how it happened for me.
Convincing you to read my favorite books based on their first lines. My father was a king, and the son of kings. It is a truth universally acknowledged that a single man in possession of a good fortune must be in want of a wife. She couldn't remember the first book she had eaten. A girl is running for her life. I became what I am today at the age of 12, on a frigid, overcast day in the winter of 1975.
These days you can find anything you need at the click of a button. That's why I bought her heart online. To Sherlock Holmes, she is always the woman. "Sing, Muse," he says, and the edge in his voice makes it clear that this is not a request. When the letter came, I was out in the fields binding up my last sheaf of wheat with hands that were shaking so much I could hardly tie the knot. They say you can sail 1,000 miles along the island chain of the Myriad, from the frosty shores of the north to the lush, sultry islands of the south. It was 5 o'clock on a winter's morning in Syria. First day back assemblies are the most pointless practice ever.
A sex tape, pregnancy scare, to cheating scandals. Some believe monsters are born monsters. People think that ghosts only come out at night, or on Halloween. Her mother had once told her that the only way to truly know someone was to fight them. In Ferry there are no fish sticks, no ketchup, no television.
We were all villains in the beginning. One summer night I fell asleep, hoping the world would be different when I woke. If I'm not home in 2 months, I'm dead. My brother reaches home in the dark hours before dawn, when even the ghosts take their rest. Convincing you to read my favorite books by just telling you their first line. Part 2. Daisy Jones was born in 1951 and grew up in the Hollywood Hills of Los Angeles, California. When I was a kid, my mom constantly invented games. Blue Sergeant had forgotten how many times she'd been told that she would kill her true love.
I just punched a girl in the face. We've known each other for almost half our lives. Somebody stabbed you in the neck, young lady. On vacation, you can be anyone you want. He doesn't know I'm alive. I wonder what kind of sound it would make if I were to smash his glass against the side of his head.
When I was born, the name for what I was did not exist. A Carolina first year sprints through the darkness and launches himself off a cliff into the moonlit night. My mother thinks I'm dead. My big brother reaches home in the dark hours before dawn, when even ghosts take their rest. In glittering Shanghai, a monster awakens. It's not the end of the world, Stacy said. Casbrecker didn't need a reason. Cal wore a very peculiar coat. A girl is running for her life.
Convincing you to read books based off their first line. When we were 8, Dad cut me open from throat to stomach. This is the last time I'm starting over. For many mornings, there had been nothing but barren land. Rich nabbed the week's mail from Lark's box and swung off the Eel Road, bumping down the muddy two-track past a pair of show toilets. There are many expensive houses here in Brecon Hill, an enclave on the edge of Aylesford, in the Hudson Valley. If you're convinced, these are Book of the Month's August picks, so go check them out.
Convincing you to read books based at the first line. People lived because she killed. They never found the body of the first and only one who broke my heart, and they never will. I've been locked up for 264 days. Somebody stabbed you in the neck, young lady. The charm bracelet feels heavy in my palm.
Convincing you to read my favorite books based off their first line. People lived because she killed. It was the best of times, it was the worst of times. Blue Sergeant had forgotten how many times she'd been told that she would kill her true love. My big brother reaches home in the dark hours before dawn, when even ghosts take their rest.
Convincing you to read my favorite books based on their first sentences. The night Kate Harker decided to burn down the school chapel, she wasn't angry or drunk. They've never found the body of the first and only boy who broke my heart. Everyone in St. Hilaire talked to the dead. Death Cast is calling with the warning of a lifetime. I'm going to die today. It's not the end of the world.
There is a pirate in the basement. Oh gosh, is that the time? Sorry, I have to go, the man mumbled evasively as he stood up and reached for his bag. Everyone my age remembers where they were and what they were doing when they first heard about the contest. By the time Alex managed to get the blood out of her good wool coat, it was too warm to wear it. This story ends in blood. It was a bright cold day in April, and the clocks were striking 13. It was late winter in northern Roos, the air sullen with wet that was neither rain nor snow.